On July the 3rd, 2016, at about 2:00 p.m., a female victim was sitting at a bus stop near downtown Dallas when the suspect approached her. The suspect told the victim to walk with him, and at this time, the suspect led our victim to a stairwell near the 600 block of Houston Street. The suspect suddenly grabbed the victim and sexually assaulted her. The suspect had a tattoo on his face, tattoos covering both arms, and was described as a black male. The suspect was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, green pants, and green tennis shoes. A suspect matching this description was found a short time later and was brought into to be questioned by detectives. The victim was shown a photo lineup, and she could not positively identify the suspect. At that time, DNA evidence was collected from the suspect, and the suspect was released by the detectives. Okay. During that time, based on the information they received from the victim, we felt that they knew each other, they were acquainted. Late in the evening of July the 25th, 2016, just before midnight, another female victim who had met the suspect a few days prior at the West End Dart Station saw the suspect and recognized him. The suspect and the victim began to talk. The victim and the suspect walked through a parking lot between two buildings in downtown. As they walked, the suspect grabbed the victim, pulled her into an unlit area, and sexually assaulted her. In the morning, the victim fled towards the Dart station and flagged down Dart police. They responded, and Dallas police detectives responded and were called. The victim gave a description of a black male in his 30s, 5'5", and added that he had tattoos on his face and believed she knew his first name. Given the close proximity and the similar descriptions given, the detectives immediately began working to determine whether or not these assaults were committed by the same suspect. This morning, detectives from the Dallas Police Sexual Assault Team began working with the Dallas Police Sex Offender Program detectives, and a photo lineup was put together and shown to the victim from the July 25th sex assault. The second victim picked out the suspect in a 6-photo lineup, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. This afternoon, members from the Dallas Police Department Southwest Patrol Division, the Sex Offender Apprehension Team, and sex assault detectives arrested the suspect. He will be charged with sexual assault, felony 2, on a $150,000 bond, failure to comply with the registration requirement for sex offender registration program, a felony 2, and a probation violation for failure to register as a sex offender, which is a felony 3. At this time, we will not be releasing the name or the photo of the suspect because detectives need to speak to a potential another victim. Okay? We are asking the press not to release this at this time until we can meet with this victim and we can confirm everything. Okay?
So what was he in jail for? What was his prior? Sex assault as well?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
That I'll have to look into.
So is the reason this wasn't released after July 3rd because you felt they were connected?
When you say they were connected, you mean the victim and the suspect?
They knew each other?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If we have a definite, we know that there's a stranger on stranger, that information will be released.
Did he hit on CODIS? Did y'all run CODIS for any other potential victims?
We have submitted all the evidence that we have collected from both the SANE exam and from the DNA collected from our suspect, and those are being tested as we speak. Yes, ma'am.
You said you might have is it a third potential suspect, or this, that you're wanting
a third potential victim? Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Also from the Dart area, or?
That's what we're working on. They didn't happen on Dart property.
Right.
It's just kind of where they met. We're working closely. We notified Dart yesterday, and they are working to see if they can obtain any evidence for us.
You don't know the circumstances around the third victim?
No, ma'am, not at this time.
Are you asking us not to release it? There is even a third victim, potentially?
There is potential. We would like to reach out to that victim and show her a lineup and see if she can pick it out. If she can't pick him out, then we'll be releasing it.
Do you know where he was living? Because he's not a registered, he was supposed to be a registered sex offender, but he hasn't complied. Do you know where he has been staying, and if they're looking in that area as well?
That's what we're working on right now, ma'am. We're following up on every lead that comes in from our public.
So we could say that you're looking into other possible sexual assaults.
We're always anytime we bring in an arrested person, we're always looking for potential other victims out there, and it would help obviously when we get the photo out there. If anybody else were to see and to come forward, we'll look in those matters as well.
But we can say there could be more victims without jeopardizing your case?
Possible, yes. You could say that, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to make sure there aren't any other victims out there. Okay?
One of DART's concerns was that they hadn't heard about it until today. Why was that?
Not aware, because on the 25th, the female called DART and spoke to them, and then they called us because they realized that the offense actually did not occur on DART property. It occurred in the city of Dallas. So, guys, I have time for one more question, and the reason being is because this is a very active and open investigation still going on as we speak.
Was it
Okay?
the same guy you questioned already the first time?
Yes. Okay? Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that.